Thank you very much for coming down to the third GameMaker meetup. Woo! Round of applause. That's really good. What a space. Thank you very much to Playtech and for Yo-Yo Games for giving this wonderful space for us to mess around in and talk about GameMaker, talk shop. And also thank you very much to all of you for coming down once again. I see lots of familiar faces and I see lots of new ones as well, and that's what we like to see. Up first, we have Rob Ramsay.
Hello.
Rob is a good friend of mine, and he does lots of stuff for the GameMaker marketplace, and we love him. And he's going to be talking about that today, telling us how to make a little bit of cash.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm not very new to GameMaker. I've been using it since 2003, since version 4 something. And yeah, I just loved making anything that I could make at the time. So I'm a freelance artist for games. I wasn't always a freelance artist. I used to be in sales, and I used to sell tiles, and then I became a tiler because I learned how to tile. And anyway, that funded the whole project thing. Like, oh, there's a PC. Oh, there's how to make games. Oh, art stuff. Yeah, cool. Put it all together. Can I turn this into a business at some point? Maybe. So yeah, I started with that other game thing, marketplace. You know the one I'm talking about. But anyway, GameMaker's got a marketplace as well. So I've built up a little bit of assets there, and I've been working in London for just over 5 years, making assets for clients, mainly 3D models, some pixel art stuff, and just now I'm working on a lot of VR. So yeah, I cover like every sort of discipline, you know, 2D, 3D, VR, texturing, animation, and yeah, I like making assets when I've got the time. So yeah, it works. So I make sprites, I do projects, tile sets, sound, and I do services for the GameMaker marketplace. Some of those that I've made some pixel art sprites, isometric pre-rendered, so like done in a 3D program, then just like getting cameras to render the animation out in different angles, 8 angles, 16 angles, you know, you get all these different isometric engines. They need loads of sprites and massive big sprite sheets. That was one of my first jobs when I came down to London to do, was make little ZBrush models, rig and animate them, set up 8 cameras and render them in all sorts of ways, doing stunts and tricks and jumps and spins and rolls. So pre-rendered is quite popular, but it just has that little kind of bit too crisp look to it. It's not very pixel arty. Vector is vector art turned into PNGs, and then you put them into Spine and animate them that way, then pipe that into GameMaker. GameMaker supports the whole spine skeleton structure, so you can easily animate stuff. Yeah, that's pretty good, and no doubt that's got its own marketplace developing as well. So projects I've made an isometric engine, which is just some little sprites put together, again pre-rendered 3D, but gone for a more stylized look with the textures, so that it doesn't look as, you know, as bad. It's kind of like ends up looking like a Diablo type game, but a bit nicer. I've done a shoot 'em up template, little block smash one, so it's quite easy to learn, and something called waypoints. These all sell pretty well. Waypoints is free, which is just a little system I've made where you bump into something, and all it is a little arrow. It tells you the way something else is going to go. Then you can hide all those after you've made like a waypoint system for some AI or whatever it might be. Maybe you're trying to make a little cutscene from in some sort of way of another player. You can use the waypoint system to make them drive a certain way. It's kind of like following a path, but they're more kind of like angled. Nice little solution that sells well. Tile sets, some pixel art ones, 8x8, 16x16, 32x32, going back to like the 8-bit and 16-bit era. And doing some pixel art stuff is always good fun. You can get some high detail ones as well. You go a bit higher, make big tile sets and make them look stylized, making like stone tile floors, rocks, grass tiles, little sets that all go together and sell them as packs. I've been getting into a bit more of that lately, but just been super busy. Also want to get into a bit more sound stuff, making sound effects and background music, a little bit of which is in the shoot 'em up template. I made all the sound effects and music for that, and that's probably my best. Like that sold better in the GameMaker marketplace than it's sold in the Amazon Play Store. Funnily enough, no, Amazon Play Store, Google Play Store. Might do well on Amazon Play Store if I put it there, so never know, I'll try that. Yeah, sure. Sorry. Yeah. Sorry, I put my foot in it in a nice way. Oh. Services that I give is I do some coding and UI development plus the art. I've had a few jobs. Some young guys, they coming up, just leaving school, they want to get into game development, but they don't really know how to make anything. And what I end up doing is like I'll do the coding, but I fully like comment everything, and then I'll talk them through it so that they then have something to take from it, as well as paying me to do it. Got to make money, right? So that's kind of where I'm at with the marketplace. I'll show you some of these things called graphs and stuff. Everyone loves these, right? It's like a roller coaster. So I don't know what this peak was. This was the 31st of July this year. So this is what you get when you get the marketplace. You can follow like all these trends. This is me looking at my sales in the last year or so. Yeah, the last half year. It does like half year chunks, and then the website can't really handle all the data or something. But anyway, I'm sure that will be one of those things getting developed. But there was this big peak at one point where I sold a lot of assets, and I found out there was like a game jam run about that time. So the blue line is free stuff. So a lot of free stuff goes, and then the green one's like paid stuff. So that's like, what's that, $5? So that's like a $5, £2 one. So everything that I sell is less than a $5 each, like $5, $2, $1. Or it's a combination of some, that's what it is. Because I don't think I get anything more than $2.99. So yeah, you can see I just get little trickle bits of income here and there, but at least it's income. And you can see what I've made to date. I've made this, well, who's that? Revenue and range, publisher cut. Yeah, that's my figure. And then that minus that is what I give to Yo-Yo Games for being so kind to give me this marketplace. So it's good. Yeah, it's good for them, good for me, good for people that are learning and they need assets. And I'm starting to learn to focus in on big packs, because if you give them like all the sprites they need and all the tiles they need and all the sound effects they need for a project, they can start to learn how to code it and then understand that they need to pay an artist. Does that make sense? Okay, so this is the accumulated assets over about 3 years while working in games full time. So yeah, I've been quite busy working away, and I've managed to put together some of these projects. This is a little tile set that I've got a friend to do. Sujin McGlynn, anyone know Sujin? He's a really good pixel artist, but he's quite busy doing some other stuff. You know Sujin? Yeah, yeah. Anyway, so he did this little tile set. I'll maybe show that later. And initially, I paid him some money for it. It was 3 or 4 hours work or something. It was just little sand blocks and water and ice and grass. And I put that in the asset store, and it immediately sort of sold. Put it in for $1 or something like that, and I sold about 20 copies over a month or so, and then it just sort of dwindled. I was like, okay, do you know what? I'll just make it free. So I made it free, and it was just flying out. The numbers were going up. I must have sold about 7,000 copies of it in 3 years. So that's basically, I can measure the footfall through that one. Like, so I must get about 2,500, 3,000 people passing through each year, and it's going up. I've seen it sort of grow a bit. And so that gives leverage to other stuff, the paid stuff, hopefully. I've got a few things that are free. Must be about half of those are free, I think. The light versions are maybe half price. Yeah, more free stuff. I think that's the way to go. But these are some things that I've made. What I use Photoshop for pixel art, stylized art, a sprite, which I paid $20 for through, I think it was Gumroad. So I do 2D. In fact, who uses the marketplace? Who's ever bought in from it? It's just a couple. Who's ever set up a marketplace? You've got a marketplace? You put stuff on it, you got your own marketplace. All right, so it's almost the same to people that use it as the people that have their own, almost half then, but not very many. Okay, yeah, do that because I'll make more money. Spine is like 2D animation, so you load in all your head, your body, your arms, limbs, you put them all together in this little bone structure, and you can animate stuff in 2D, and you can sort of swap things out back and front to each other, if you know what I mean. Like, you might want the arm to be in front at one point. You can add weapons and guns, and then you can export that out as a JSON file, plus the little tile atlas directly into GameMaker, and it just reads it like a sprite. And there's certain GameMaker code functions you can use with that so that you can blend animations. It's pretty handy. I use 3ds Max for pre-rendered 3D models, but it costs a lot of money. So you can pay for a monthly subscription, which isn't too bad. Or like me, you're kind of stuck on a student license. Didn't tell you that. ZBrush I use for making high poly models, and then I pre-render those. Or I rig them up and then animate them. But ZBrush is quite expensive. Everything else I've paid for apart from this dear son of a... Anyway. Fruit Loop Studio is really good for music and sound effects. I've used that for a long time as well. And basically, I just use the same stuff quite a lot. I don't feel the need to keep buying software all the time. I've got quite a few things, and I do a lot of 3D as well. So yeah, making assets allows me to make the use of the software I purchased, perhaps recouping some of that spending. And it's true because I might be locked into using 3ds Max and ZBrush for like a whole project, and I never get to use Sprite or Spine or do any music stuff anymore. Photoshop I use an awful lot, but mainly for textures. So it's good fun to come back to the whole 2D thing. Yeah. Is there one more? No, there's none. That's it. So that's me. And I thought I had, maybe I'll go back to the start. Yeah, that's me. So if you want to get in touch, I do have a Twitter handle, but it's gone. See if I can find it. There's loads of stuff. Oh, 4.15. Yeah, that was a peak. So that was my best sales middle of June.
Is that on the day? Or?
That's the day. So each of these is the day. So I made like 415 one day. Well, was that revenue? Turnover? Yeah. And then I think it's 30% that goes to the marketplace. And I get high volume, yeah. That was that. If I keep going, I will find some contact details. It's not there. Anyway, you can get in touch. I'll give you my details if you want any. If you want to suggest what you'd like to see in the marketplace to help your GameMaker project, I'd be more than happy to take any suggestions. Any questions? Yes?
What time of year is the busiest in terms of the number of times that you ship?
There's little peaks when there's game jams. There's peaks when there's like Ludum Dare and any sort of GameMaker jam. You see a little sort of peak here and there, but it's mainly free stuff. What I try and do is I try and reduce prices really quickly when there's a game jam coming up, but I tend to miss that boat. So I'll try and keep an eye on that, because I noticed that whenever there's like a big GameMaker, well, an asset store sale on, like everything just sells much more. You end up with more revenue in that sense. So cheaper is good, but only as long as people know there's a sale on. So otherwise it's pointless. I mean, you could cut all your prices, nobody would notice because there's no advertising towards it. So, any others? Okay, so yeah. Oh, yes.
You are really flexible with what you do. You think you can work with the marketplace without it? Or is it essential?
No, so I don't really depend on the marketplace for income, if that's what you mean.
I mean, you think you will work with a little bit with the marketplace without having the knowledge to do pixel art, isometric, render, whatever. I mean, if you only do pixel art.
Sure. Yeah. You don't have to like. I've got a broad range of stuff, and I try and utilize it. But if you're like essentially just a pixel artist, yeah, you can make loads of nice pixel art, and people will love it. Especially pixel art for GameMaker, because it's perfectly designed for it. It looks the best. Yeah. So, yep. Yeah.
Yeah. So you said like this isn't a full-time thing. So how would you handle dealing with the support side?
Funnily enough, I don't get too much comeback with anything. Like there is like comments and things, you know, and now and again I'll get like 1 star out of the blue, and then everything else has been 5 stars. I'm like, what have I done wrong? Like, tell me, you should be getting in touch, you know, and it's just like, and I can't get in touch with that person, so I'll never know, right? So then I just like flag it as just a spam review, right? It's like, it's like, not good enough for me. 1 star's, that's fine. The 1 star's fine, but reason for it, no, I'm not having it. Anyway, So that's what happens. And eventually, Yo-Yo will come and see that and go, oh yeah, okay, that's fair enough. The guys, no one's having a good argument or debate about it. So anyway, it doesn't give me any reason to improve, and it just makes me look bad when everyone else is sort of saying it's good, So yeah, there is times when you just need to sort of see what's playing for you and against you, and then following trends and stuff. Yeah, that's the other thing. Like, yeah, you should just totally capitalize on games that do well, making stuff that's kind of like theirs, so that kids at school can sort of remake it and learn from it. And that way, they've got all the assets they need in a way. Nothing too ripped off, but if you kind of like take them and make your own version, like Angry Bears or whatever it might be, yeah, throwing bears through the sky, and who knows, that could be the next big hit made by some kid that's just left school, and you're like, I made assets for that for $2.99. Okay. Anyone else? Questions? Oh, okay, so yeah, good.
Thank you very much, Rob.
Yeah, cheers.
Thank you very much for coming down and putting some numbers to what's happening on the GameMaker.
You're welcome.